As a photographer, I like to shoot more with my heart than with my head. I'm going to explain to you why, and maybe you will do the same in the future. We all know those photographers who are very technical, who are very perfect with their exposure, with their focus, with their composition, with their tonal range, all of those things. And many times they concentrate on all of that stuff and get it perfect, but the results tend to be boring. We know other photographers who, I'm working both ends of the scale here. We know other photographers who are much more emotional and shoot before they're ready or shoot for the moment. Often they're trying to capture emotion, but it just doesn't translate because the technical side of things is not there. Ideally, if we could do both, if we could get technically perfect images that has emotions, have feelings, things that are going to move the viewer, then that will be fantastic. In the real world, it's usually a mixture of both, the technical and the aesthetic. Different photographers will approach this in a different way. I tend to think that feelings and emotions are a bit more important than the technical side of photography, even though I always strive to get the technical side as perfect as I can. Now, it does depend on the job you're doing, on the photograph you're doing. If I'm doing stuff for my clients, then I need to make sure that the technical things are there. But I also try and get some personality or some emotion in that image as much as possible, just so that it lifts it up to another level. Of course, my opinions on this may not match yours, so let me know in the comments what you think about it. You may think that the technical side of photography is a lot more important than the emotional side. I used to judge a lot of photographic competitions. I don't do so much anymore. But that was one thing I always looked for in an image, something that moved me, something that gave me some sort of feeling or made me think, ask questions, those sort of things. They're the things that I strive for in my general photography, in my personal work, not so much in my professional work. But if you're doing your own work and you can shoot whatever you want to, think about putting some emotions or some feelings into your images. You can do it with people photography, of course, with people's expressions. You can do it with landscapes, just with lighting, with composition, things like that. You can do it with still life. You can make emotional still lifes that just stand out to people and move people. You can do this with pretty much any genre of photography if you think about it. As a wedding portrait photographer, I always was in situations where emotions were part of the situation. Weddings, birthday parties, family get-togethers, all of those sort of things. The emotion is there. I've just got to capture it as much as I can. When I'm shooting normal shots, model portfolios, things like that, family portraits, I still want to try and get those people relaxed and comfortable as much as possible. That's because when they're comfortable and relaxed, they look their best and their personality comes through. So the emotion, the feelings of their loved ones, when they look at that photograph, they know that's definitely that person because I can see it in their eyes. So maybe try and set out to capture more feelings and emotions in your images. Go out one day and just think about it. Keep that in your head. Shoot with your heart rather than your head, or a combination of the two. Obviously, that's probably going to be the better way to go. But we all find our own level, and different parts of our life, we have different levels. So whatever's going on in the rest of your life is going to be reflected in the photographs that you take and the way you put those feelings and emotions in your images.